Welcome to Soul Steps with Dr. Wrenn. I'm your heart-to-heart walking companion. These short, soulful reflections come straight from my morning devotion walks. Think of it as a chat with your bestie that feeds your mind and spirit. Walk with me or just listen and get ready to feel uplifted, informed, and inspired. Good morning, friends. Happy Saturday. I'm coming to you from Haddonfield, New Jersey. Historic Haddonfield. One of my friends lives in Haddonfield, and when I come back to my home state, she and her husband lovingly open up their home and allow me to stay with them. And it's a great, calming, peaceful place. And I have a little route that I created the last 2 times I was here. Little walking route, about the same distance as my home route. And I had to modify it a little bit today because I started my watch tracker late. And I want to get credit for my steps. I've gone a little bit further down this main road, but much of the walk is residential, quiet. And I almost started my video early because they had 2 owls. And I was like, hooty hoo, owls. Okay. But I was in the middle of listening to my scripture, so I was like, all right, let me be obedient and continue to listen. Oh, see, I haven't been paying attention, so, oh, okay. I went a little bit off the beaten path, so I didn't want to turn down the wrong street. I know where I am now. So anyway, yesterday was such an interesting day. Woke up fiery, had to do a little advocacy on behalf of my mom. I had my 2.5-hour float, which was amazing, and went home to finish packing up. Got ready to head to the airport. Realized that my engagement ring had flown off my left finger somehow. And I know I had it at home because when I got home, I did my hair, took my rings off to do my hair, and then I put them back on. Got dressed. So, no telling where that ring is. I thought I might find it in my suitcase, but it's not there. My guess is it fell on something soft, and that's why I didn't hear it. So, I'm definitely a little stressed out about that because I'd like to not lose it. I would prefer to find it. Now, I have lost my wedding band twice now and found it, so maybe this will be my trifecta and my lesson to go ahead and put the adjuster on my engagement ring because it's the winter time, and that means it's fitting a little looser. So you can pray for me that I might find my ring. I think there's like a saint over lost things. I don't know if it's Michael. One of the saints helps you find lost things. So, if you pray to that saint for me, that'd be awesome. While you're at it, you can pray that I find my college sweater, my Letterman sweater, and my gray jacket also has my varsity letter on there. And all the stars for the times we beat Navy. I don't know what you get bars for. It got stars and bars on this jacket and sweater. Well, I don't think I'm going to have enough time in New Jersey to look for it. But you never know. Might get fortunate. So, I didn't read my Center for Action and Contemplation message today. I'm sure there was something good there for you, but I listened to something yesterday that was so good. It was a podcast about what does it mean to be great. And I can't even share all the good stuff with you because it was last night and I don't remember, I can't even remember the word. There was a word that he shared that was the opposite of magnanimous. And so I don't know, I might have to I'm going to re-listen to that podcast and tell you about it tomorrow. Because I don't want to tell you half of it, all not well, and then, not do it justice. But it was such a great way to speak about magnanimity. I don't really know how to say that word. I think there is a word related to magnanimous. Magnanimity. It's a tongue twister. I believe that's a word. Greatness. And, it's interesting. I feel that the Lord is reforming me, refashioning me. There were some things that God placed in me, and they were fashioned and formed a little incorrectly, like how I was talking yesterday about productivity and how, efficiency was integrated to a concept that simply meant to lead forward. I think that greatness and my desire for greatness got a little malformed in the fact that it became too closely tied to my identity, in a sense that my worth and dignity became too closely tied to achievement, which made me vulnerable to striving, not in a good way, this kind of frenetic striving to greatness. Also, intolerance for incompetence, lack of graciousness in the context of mediocrity. A lot of not great stuff was formed over the years. And as I'm moving into this new season through my contemplative practices and listening and reading the scriptures with a mature mind, I am renegotiating my definitions. And this particular podcast really challenged me, welcomed me to reclaim the goal of greatness. He says that it is the design of each of us to want to be great. He talks about, I guess I'm going there even though I don't remember all the details, but he talks about, hold on, because my finger is starting to get frozen, y'all, so I'm gonna have to make an adjustment. Okay, I had to put my liner on because my hands were getting frozen. So he says basically we're each called to be great. Greatness, this greatness he describes is pervasive, not just singular in form, like an athlete would be great at one sport or one event, but may not be great in other parts of their life. Not that kind of greatness. Magnanimous greatness. And he kind of goes into the background on that. But the part that really spoke to me is what I can't remember, which was this word that was the opposite of greatness. Wish I could remember even what it meant. But it was basically like, oh yeah, it was kind of related to the concept of sloth and this like unwillingness to put in the work required for a great outcome. Kind of like this particular form of laziness. And, my heart sang because I love being great. I have a sweater that says, be great. And I do strive to be great. Aim to be great. There's a difference of like striving for a goal and like striving. Like there's a gentler form of striving. When I go to do a task, do it to my best ability. I learned that as a Girl Scout, and it was definitely reinforced in the military to have attention to detail, to take personal pride in what one does, including how you clean your room, how you put your clothes on, to do everything with excellence. I guess before Girl Scouts, probably my mother was the one who instilled in me the importance of being great. But there was this cultural add-on in the context of living in a country that might not always be fair. There was this idea that you had to be great because it was the only way to be recognized or deemed worthy. That if you were just average, you might get passed over. But that true greatness can never be denied. That message I got early. Be the best. And my mom says that when she was younger, she wanted to be the best at everything. Number one at everything. And maybe she passed that down to me. I definitely loved being number one at everything. And I worked hard so that I could be number one. Whatever I was doing it to win, to be the best that I could be. But there are, like I said, some not great things that got like grafted onto that good desire. And as I've taken those things off, I'm seeing this holy, oh man, I gotta listen to this podcast because he had some great words. There was the opposite of magnanimous, and there was this phrase he mentioned, like something like, it was a version of like holy pride, but it wasn't about pride. It was like something else. I'm gonna listen to it. I'll let you know. That was a beautiful phrase talking about like this holy enjoyment, or what I call, what is your reward? Your reward is the pleasure of a job well done. I don't know where I first heard that phrase, but I definitely love that phrase. I use it jokingly with my kids. What am I gonna get out of this? Very transactional kids can be, especially nowadays. And I will say, you get the pleasure of a job well done. That is its own reward. And I do believe that. the pleasure of a job well done is its own reward. I believe that. And similarly, when you do something with excellence, even if no one recognizes it, you are still able to celebrate your own achievement because you know that you did it with excellence, even if it's not recognized by others. So, yeah, the other part of this podcast was talking about how much leisure time we have. 15-minute crew. Y'all got 15 minutes done. 15 minutes is up. Congratulations. But you can hang out with me for a little while longer. Not too much longer because, I don't really have too much more to say. But they were talking about leisure time and how we've never had so much leisure time as we do now. And most of us are not great stewards over our time. We waste a lot of it. So easy to mindlessly scroll. I scrolled for about 20 minutes this morning. Not like, I got in late, stayed up later. Took me till about 12:30 to go to sleep. So, when I woke up to my alarm, which I normally wake up, naturally, but I woke up to a 4:30 alarm, and actually, that's a lie. I woke up at 2 o'clock, and I was awake, but I was like, it's definitely too early. I'm going to give it a go, try to go back to sleep, because I'd only slept for 2 hours. And so I did go back to sleep, even though I felt wide awake at 2 o'clock. And then I woke up to my 4:30 alarm, and I was feeling, just not quite ready to hop out of bed and get going. And so I just kind of checked social media and caught up on the lives of other people and read a few things. And then I realized it's almost 5 o'clock. It's like almost a half hour of putzing around. It's how easy it is to get lost in mindless activities. So, we don't have to go out and hunt for our food. We're not nomads having to set up our tents every night and break them down in the morning and keep it moving. We live pretty sedentary, stationary lives with quite a bit of leisure time. Work for 6 to 8 hours in a day. And then that leaves a lot of time for leisure. So he was kind of walking through the different ways you can carve out time for, exercise, for spiritual nourishment, eating, fellowshipping with friends and family. And he kind of broke it down. He was like, if you combine some of these things, then you can definitely get it all done in a day with margin. And it's true. Like right now, I'm exercising and I'm listening to the scriptures and sort of talking to friends at the same time. Not at the same exact time, but for about an hour. An hour of my morning is spent in reading. One of the categories was like learning stuff, basically. So, spiritual practices, prayer, learning something new. I do all that in the first hour of my day. Then I spend about 30 minutes reflecting to you. Sometimes not in that order. Like I am pretty much, I did most of my reading, but there's a few other things that I'm still going to read when I finish recording this. And then I do a lot of different types of prayers in the day. So I haven't done like my, praying for all the people who I said I was going to pray for. I usually do that as I'm waiting for my videos to upload because it takes a long time. So I just pray during that time. I pray for the neighbors as I'm walking by their houses. I pray for people who pop up into my head. pray for people who have lost and are grieving. And then I have like structured prayers, and I'll do those as I'm getting ready. And throughout the day, the liturgy of the hours when I remember. Even though I have alarms, it's really hard to do that. So, yeah. So, I think I'm going to tie those two thoughts together and wrap it up. I think that we are all made for greatness, and that there is greatness inside each of us. And your greatness may not be to achieve some lofty public position or goal. Your greatness may be in the form of serving others with such excellence that they see the face of God in what you do every day. Serving industries, hospitality, works in the background. You know, I went to a work party and I saw the catering team doing their job with excellence, making sure that the displays were refilled and looked beautiful. You know, hospitality and helping. My mom was big on hospitality. I didn't really inherit all of her greatness there, but I certainly know what greatness looks like. She was the president of the Good Shepherd ministry at her church that served pastors. She participated in hospitality. Sorry, I'm almost breaking my ankle because the sidewalk just come and go around here. Sidewalk will come, sidewalk will go. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with this road that much. I don't walk it that often. But yeah, my mom was great at hospitality. And I saw her preparing and serving, whether she was preparing for a party at the house or some event at the church. Her attention to detail and pursuit of excellence is something I saw firsthand. So that was my standard of excellence. She set a very high bar in terms of that. So that is a form of greatness as well. And she was a homemaker, as we call it then. It's probably better words now, but her employment was in maintaining the home and raising the children and serving the community. And so she did that with excellence. So, you know, I think your takeaway, my invitation to you is to think about how you can bring a little bit more greatness into your life, and not the like megalomaniac kind, and not the like super striving in a very like frenetic way. You know, just the greatness that you see reflected in a lily in full bloom, the greatness of a stunning sunrise, dazzling sunset, the greatness of a field of lavender, wildly grown, that kind of greatness, the greatness that you see in the works of the masters, the literary greats, the artistic greats, the musical greats, the John Williams composer, that kind of greatness, the greatness of entertainers that are impeccable with their craft, that kind of greatness. What's your version of that? What does that look like for you? Okay, friends, that's all I have for you today. Remember to move your body with love and intention today. And I can get my hands back. Remember that I love you. Bye.